Hello. Hello, my beautiful friends. Last day of the challenge. Oh, hello, Claire. How are you? Wow. Who else is here? Hi, Claire. How's it going, you guys? It's really cold today in Queenstown. Oh my God, felt really frosty. Miriam, hey, how's it going? Just letting all of you slowly beginning to join in. I can't believe we're at the end. Georgie, hello! You made it for the last day. Wow, this is so special. Yeah, it's everyone in Queenstown. Georgie, you're in Queenstown? It is cold today and I'm moving today. Luckily, the sun is shining and there's no wind, so I'm very grateful that even if it's cold, the weather is pretty good. So, oh my goodness, I'm so excited, Georgie, that you're here live for the last day. Oh, you're in Christchurch, Miriam, and it's freezing. Yeah, it feels like all of South Island, it's pretty cold. I am not ready for the winter. In case you haven't heard about me say this, I am so not a winter girl. I am so not looking forward to winter. I am the most I don't know why I live where I live. Yes, Georgie, in Queenstown, sitting in the sunshine, keeping warm, beautiful, amazing. All right. Okay, ladies, I am so excited to have you all here. Last day. I don't know what I'm gonna do from now on. I kind of feel like, every day I should be doing this, coming on and connecting with you guys and practicing mindfulness. I don't know about you, but I really just love this whole process and I hope you have too. But before we start, let's take this moment, let's take this opportunity as always to just drop into our body, into the space that you're in. And if you're sitting outside in the sunshine, just noticing the warmth and the cold, the warmth from the sun and the cold from the air. Just coming back into this body. Noticing the volume of space that you're taking up in the room or in the area that you're in. So tuning into all of your senses. Scanning through the entire body for sensations. And thanking yourself for taking time to check in, to pause and listen, and to feel into how you're doing today. Noticing anything that is arising. What is that one word that might be coming up for you? And finally, let's give thanks. So being grateful for all of these 5 days that we get to spend together to learn to be mindful, learn to connect deeper with ourselves, learn to give ourselves whatever it is that we need, because of all that we need is within us. And perhaps being grateful for even technology that allows us to do this remotely. Maybe find one more thing that you'd like to be grateful for in your own life right now. Just really focusing on the sensations that you being grateful for. How does it feel in your heart space? There's this beautiful vibration around being grateful, and we can tap into this anytime. Whenever you are ready, coming back into the space, coming back to me, and opening up your eyes when you're ready. Welcome back, and please share in the chat perhaps a word that has come up for you during this drop-in session. How are you feeling right now? And also, I'd like to hear, how has it been the past 4 days? I have loved reading all your comments and your insights. Content. Oh, wow, Mira, that's a beautiful vibration, beautiful feeling. Feeling content, refreshed, grateful. Wow, wow, wow. Yes. Amazing. Now, I wondered if this was how you were feeling before we did this drop in. And I guess what I wanted to share is sometimes we don't always feel this way. And when we actually make a conscious effort to look for what's positive, what's good in our lives, what we can be thankful for, it really changes the vibration of our energy, and that we can tap into it whenever we want to, really can be that powerful. And this is the part which is why it's so important to practice mindfulness, because when we are mindful of when we are in that autopilot mode, or when we are in, more of a negative mode, perhaps we can find the space, right? That space to choose better, to choose differently, perhaps to choose to be more grateful, to choose to be more content, and which overrides all of the other sort of negative feeling. And I don't know if you've heard this saying, but whenever we are grateful, you cannot feel anything else that is negative. Like, you can't feel grateful and feel sad at the same time. You can't feel grateful and angry at the same time. So gratitude is the highest form of our vibration, highest level of vibration. And so when we can tap into that gratitude practice to feel grateful, we can then override some of that negative. Yeah. Charlotte, oh my goodness, Charlotte, welcome. Hey girl, I'm so glad you can join the last day. Georgie, after the last 5 days, I'm noticing I'm feeling clearer and lighter. Wow, beautiful. That's amazing. And I don't want to be a party pooper, but I also want to clarify and to put a disclaimer, right? That yes, even though we are feeling better and lighter, which is kind of what I expect when we put the work in. And obviously it's also the beginning of when we put the work in. The thing is, it's not possible to maintain this. As in, it's not possible to not feel down, right? So I just want to say that, but this is the point, is what I'm trying to make, is that there will be times that we'll feel down, right? Practicing mindfulness does not mean that you're not going to feel the negatives anymore, but what will happen is you are so aware of yourself and you're aware of when it's happening, that it takes a much shorter time to process and get through all the negative feelings. You have the tools and what you can do to apply to yourself that can allow you to choose a different vibration, a higher vibration. so that obviously, we can like move through life with ease and grace, right? Because let's face it, that's what it's all about, right? We're here to ride the waves. Yeah. So mindfulness is a great tool to ride the waves of life because it's ups and it's down. Hey, Charlotte, I hope you're doing well. Charlotte is a existing client of mine. So we've been working together one-on-one for a while. And Charlotte, I'm so happy to see you here. And I hope you're doing well. And I hope that you've been applying all the mindfulness techniques as well that we've been working together on. And, she's been meditating from the word go when we first started, which was, I would say, maybe 4 months ago now. And I'm proud to say that she's still been super diligent in her meditation practice. So I just want to, shout out to Charlotte and congratulations. So today, guys, today is all about, really, I saved the best for last. It is probably the most important aspect of the mindfulness practice. And actually, if there is one thing that I want you to remember from this challenge, from this practice, is this: practicing self-kindness and compassion. I'm going to just gather my thoughts here. And, oh, sorry, I'm just reading Charlotte's message here. Doing well, meditation helps, but like you said, bad days still happen, so there's a great reminder for everyone. Exactly. Yes. It does not. Same for me. Like, same for anyone. There's still going to be bad days. Yeah, but it's going to be easier and quicker for us to get through the bad days. Again, learning that we don't need to identify with the bad days or the bad thoughts. It's been quite interesting to see people's reaction to the, witnessing our thoughts exercise as well. So if you guys have any questions or any insight that you want to share, feel free to share in there as well. As we look back over the last 5 days, right? The first day we learned about awareness, right? Being aware of our thoughts, our sensations, our emotions, being aware of what is not serving us anymore, aware of what might need changing, right? Awareness is always the first step, because without awareness, we don't know what we're working with. And then in the second day, we learned how to give ourselves the time and the space. It looks like a meditation, right? So we learned about the mindfulness meditation, which for me, super important that everyone learns this very simple technique, because this is how we can have time by ourselves. Okay. And I know that lots of people struggle with meditation, but I feel like lots of people have really benefited from this simple practice. And then on the third day, we learned about acceptance, right? Acceptance is, again, crucial, because we cannot change the past and we cannot control the future. So we have to accept that those two things are facts, and that the only thing we can control is now, the present, and therefore, what can we do with the present? So acceptance also looks at forgiving ourselves, right? And forgiving perhaps others, or forgiving and letting go of situations that's happened to us that is, again, not within our control. We may have to accept that people are not going to respond the way that we want them to, because people are different, everyone's different, and that is a good thing. Every one of us, each and every one of us, is unique and beautiful in our own ways, and we contribute to the humanity and mankind in different ways. So really respecting that. So that's acceptance. And then the fourth day, yesterday, we learned about witnessing our thoughts, right? And why that is so important, because our thoughts affect our emotions, and our emotions affect our behavior. So we need to start from the root, right? So really catching ourselves, catching the thoughts that is not serving us, the thoughts that's not helpful, the thoughts that's not kind, that's not loving, to be able to catch that so that we have the power, right, to change that. And also knowing that we do not identify with those thoughts. Yeah. And obviously I forgot to mention about RAIN, obviously the 4 steps, which is how it helps us to practice acceptance. And the last part, which is non-identification of thoughts, which is what we learned also in yesterday's technique, is training ourselves to not be attached to our thoughts, training ourselves to not act on our thoughts. Yeah, training ourselves to be okay with whatever is arising, especially the uncomfortable, sometimes painful, difficult thoughts. Yeah. Oh, hey Mario, that's my husband watching. Oh my goodness, he's in the front room. So, and so today we're talking about loving kindness and compassion. So the mindfulness practice is really underpinned by these values. And today specifically, I want to focus on compassion and kindness to ourselves. And this is because I know that most of us are already very nice, very kind to other people, because the society has trained us to do so, right? And I don't know about you, and I haven't come across many people who've grown up in an environment where we've been taught to put ourselves first. Most of us grew up in environments where we are supposed to abide by the rules. We do what we're told. Think about our school education. It's very similar. Like, we're told when to eat, we're told how to dress, as in like up to a certain age in school. And we're all sort of doing the same thing, right? So that's kind of the environment that we've been brought up. So when it comes to showing ourselves kindness and compassion, personally, I drew a blank. Like, if you asked me years ago, what did that mean? What did that meant? I couldn't tell you. Like, like, does it look like what, a bubble bath or going for a massage, or, so then the whole think about practicing kindness and compassion was something that I had to learn in my adulthood, like in my 30s, which, you think about it, is pretty crazy. But like I always say, better late than never. And so this is the part where everything that we've learned over the last 4 days is really coming towards this crescendo. Like, really, how do we change all of those negative thoughts, all those parts of ourselves that we don't like, that we don't accept, into parts of us that we can begin to practice love, patience, and to accept ourselves. So before I go any further, I just want to see, am I making sense so far? Is this resonating? Is there any parts that I said perhaps that has given you even more confusion? I don't know. I just want to make sure that still got everyone here together with me. Yes, Claire, amazing. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah. In the moment of pain and suffering, it is really true through the practice of self-kindness and compassion that will allow us to move through it. I want you to send, just type in a yes or Y if this is you, what I'm going to describe. If this is you, type in a yes. You are really harsh at yourself, critical of yourself. You are impatient when you make a mistake, or you beat yourself up when you do something wrong, or perhaps something didn't go according to plan. You doubt yourself whenever you need to make decisions. You talk to yourself in a way that you would never talk to your best friend, or anyone for the matter, right? The way you talk to yourself in a negative way, in a critical way, you would never say that to your friends. Type in a yes, a Y, if that is you that I've described. It could be an and. If it's a no, let me know as well. Maybe anything in between, don't know. Sometimes, Miriam, getting better. Awesome. Okay, cool. Nice. Getting better. That's amazing. So basically, I just described me before. Yeah. Like I was super critical, like that recovering, like the perfectionist in me was horrible to myself. I was super critical of myself. I was like, yeah, just a very mean to myself. And so when I learned about how to practice being kind and compassionate to myself, that was when I was able to start loving myself more, to accept myself more. Yeah. There's always, obviously, there's certain things that will trigger you, I guess, that causes you to be more critical and to be mean to yourself. But also, I also may want to say that sometimes until we start to really watch our thoughts, right? This is where the practice of witnessing my thoughts, that was what really showed me how critical I am, because I was able to see the way I was talking to myself in the form of the thoughts. You know, whether that is like, oh my God, you're good for nothing. Like, oh my God, you're just useless. Like, shit, why couldn't you get this right? Like, you know, you don't deserve this. It's like the way that I talk to myself. When I started to see that, I was gobsmacked. I was like, wow, I would never say this to my friends. Like, and my ability to fail, non-existent, right? Like I just, that's like a no-go. But, and also, I mean, that we can talk about that another time when we come to talk about like perfectionism and wanting to be perfect in every way so that we don't fail, because it's that fear of failing. But kindness means that when we mess things up, when we make a mistake, when we do something wrong, when there's parts of us that we don't like, we still learn to accept and to love it. Obviously, easier said than done, but this is the practice. This is the practice. So many clients that I work with, they have such high standards for themselves. By the way, there's nothing wrong with high standards, but sometimes to the point of that they can't forgive themselves, they can't let go, and they are beating themselves so hard over something that it shouldn't be that way. It doesn't matter what it is, but that really affects their self-worth, really affects their confidence. And the practice of self-kindness means that we give ourselves this, like cut ourselves the slack. And that means talking to ourselves in a loving way. That means giving ourselves what we need, not needing to wait for other people to give it to us. I'm just trying to think of, and perhaps you guys can, in your own life, think of an area where you know perhaps that you can be more kind to yourself. And the other thing about compassion is knowing that we are humans. Knowing that as humans, we are not perfect. And therefore, we are not alone. And so if we can practice being kind and compassionate to ourselves, that means that we will know how to be kind and compassionate to other people too. And that is such an important aspect when it comes to relating with people, when it comes to dealing with people, that comes with being in relationships. And so I feel like once we are really good at being kind and compassionate to ourselves, that naturally overflows to the people and the environment outside of us. I want to take a few moments here. I would like to hear from you guys. What is coming through for you right now? Do you feel like you know what it takes to practice kindness and compassion? It's like when you're dealing with a friend, I think another way that I want to maybe describe how I do this to myself, I practice this for myself, is if, for example, in my work, and if I had done something that I feel like I could do better at, right? What would I say to a friend who's in my position? Would I be saying to them, hey, you've messed up, you fucked up, you need to do better? No, I know I wouldn't say that. I would look for the positives in what they've done for themselves, encourage them and support them. So I'll say, hey, Elena, yes, it may not have the outcome that you desired, but look at the effort that you've put in, and that this is going to contribute to your final goal, or the goal eventually. Yes, this time around, it may not have worked exactly how you want it to work, but congratulations on putting in an effort, the time, for trying. Well done for trying. Because if you never tried, you wouldn't know if it would have worked or not. And so if you think about this, the tone is so different, right? I'm not saying that it's okay that it doesn't matter that I failed. It's okay that it doesn't matter that it didn't work. I mean, it could be that it doesn't matter, but more importantly is recognizing that I've tried and I've made the effort. And if you think about things in life, not everything in your life is perfect, or that you know what to do straight away. And, Claire asked, why is it so hard to do for ourselves? Exactly right. And I think it's why it's hard is because we're not used to it. It's not something that we do. That's why I said we're already very good at being nice to other people, being supportive, being a cheerleader for other people, being kind, but we're not there yet with ourselves. And so, but the good thing is you already know how to do it. Yes, it's to other people, but you know how to do it. So what you need to do is switch it over to do it for yourself. However you would treat your friend, ask yourself, right? How would I treat my friend if this was my friend that has just happened? What would I say to my friend? And that you turn it around and say it to yourself and give it to yourself. Whether that looks like writing it down, whether that looks like, saying it out loud, or even just saying it to yourself, in the mirror, whatever it is, or just thinking to yourself, and just really applying that kindness in the same way that you apply it to your friends and family. Let me know if this is resonating so far. And this is how I really want to wrap it up, is that everything that we've learned over the 4 days, when you catch yourself thinking those thoughts, when you catch yourself being mean to yourself, when you catch yourself thinking those limiting beliefs, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve this, or, is to be kind to yourself, is to practice being kind to yourself, is to, like I said, to give what you would to a friend, to yourself. I have a few minutes, guys, for any questions so far. Over these 5 days, what we've done so far. If there's any burning questions that you would like to ask, I'll give you some time to type it up and stuff. But also, I am so thankful for each and every one of you in this challenge, whether you came live or you watched the replay, whether you commented or you didn't. I just hope that some of this resonated, has been helpful. And I know deep down, I really, really believe that so much goodness comes from practicing mindfulness, and that I want it for you guys. So this 5 days challenge, which you can have access to anytime, and if you want to do these 5 days challenge again, over the next few weeks, to keep practicing, to keep reminding yourself, because it takes time. It takes time, but it is so worth it. And I can't wait to see where this takes you. I can't wait to see where this takes you. Georgie says, yes, it's sometimes something I've been working on, but sometimes it's hard to let go and allow compassion. Absolutely. Absolutely. And the awareness, like you just noticing that you're exercising the awareness muscle. So keep going. Keep going. Honestly, it is not about, I guess, and part of the reason why meditating and practicing meditation helps, because it teaches you to be kind to yourself. But the fact that when you're sitting and not acting on your thoughts, when your mind is telling you to get up and do something, and you're ignoring that, and you're sitting there because you know this is the kindest thing you can do for yourself. Yes, sitting and doing nothing and finding stillness and connecting with yourself is the kindest, loving thing you can do for yourself. And so when you choose to do it for yourself, you're practicing loving yourself. You're practicing choosing yourself. You're practicing prioritizing yourself. So the very fact that carving out formal time for your own practice is in itself a self-care and a self-love act. And when you start to really notice, why is it so hard to let go and allow compassion, but yet you don't give up? That in itself is that practice of allowing in kindness, in, yes, patience. Patience is underrated. Yeah, especially in this world that we live in, it's instant gratification because of technology. Everything is quick and instant, right? We want it now. But when it comes to healing, when it comes to deeper connection with ourselves, we can't rush it. We need to give it time. Yes. So, guys, thank you so much for being with me every day of this week. I really, really loved it. Can't wait for the next one. I can't wait to hear how it's been going for you. Please keep in touch. And I'm going to pick the winner and I'll announce it next week. Yes, but there is still time to sway my decision. So I want to hear how has the challenge transformed you? What has changed for you? Which part of the practice resonated with you most? I want to hear all about your experience over these 5 days and share it in the group, right? And it's going to be a very difficult decision for me to make, to give my coaching program to one beautiful person, because I feel I know that all of you deserve it. All of you deserve it, but I can only give one. So I want to hear, how has this challenge transformed you? How have you been showing up for yourself? How has this changed for you? What has changed? What has shifted? What has resonated with you most? So share with me and the group, in the group. Thank you so, so much. And this is not goodbye. Please stay in touch. And if you have any other questions after this, feel free to reach out. I'm always here, honestly. And you know that I love to chat. So I'll be more than happy. And I would love to hear from you. And yeah, there's going to be other juicy, honestly, more kind of mindfulness practice coming away. I'm working on more content, and this is all about helping, supporting each other, and lots of love to you guys. Namaste. Thank you so much, you guys. I'm going to be moving the rest of the house now, so wish me luck. Stay mindful, you guys. Thank you. See you soon. Bye, guys.